All right, guys, Sam here, back with you on Tuesday, December 4th. And next up here by request from our members is a look at the Canadian dollar to the US dollar. So now I've got up a 3-day chart here. I often will prefer the 3-day to the weekly. Just one more example of why I would really want to encourage you to 4-hour and above for Forex, and particularly for analysis. Everything's just much cleaner, and they really jump out at you. So it's pretty hard to miss the impulse here. 1, 3, 5, it's just A, B, C into the 2, get the big impulse, all the subdivisions there, A, B, C for the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up we go. So what do we have? We have a completed impulsive structure. One hell of a big one. What's the low there? That's from July of 11 to 5 years. 5 years, guys. All right, now who could stay long, right? Who could stay long for 5 years? Well, a professional or a machine. You and I, no way. No way, right? Is it technical? 2 to the 3, right? So I think we've got a little expanded flat there, actually. So this would be the 4. Where are we looking for the 4? Between the 23 and the 38. All right, we go. Boom. Front run on the first target, likely. Second target. So you look at that and you go, okay, great, okay, good, right, okay. I didn't participate in that, so what's next? Well, if that's a completed 5-wave structure, likely a 1-wave, A, B, C. I mean, these, right, when you look at it from this view, pretty hard to miss some of these. So you might think, okay, well, I know what to do. So if that's the low here and that's my pivot, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the 2 anywhere from the 50 to the 618. That's our prime zone. What do we do? All right. There you go. I cannot put in front of you a better example of Elliott Wave than I can right there. I mean, that's literally like you took it out of a book and you had someone on a whiteboard drawing it up saying, well, here's what they're supposed to look like. Boom, right? So when was the last time you looked at the 3-day chart on the Canadian dollar? Right, somebody did. Or a piece of software was there to not miss that. Up we go. So when's that low? That's September of 17, been grinding higher. So note here, we can do all of the analysis here on a 3-day chart. There is absolutely no need. And in fact, I would discourage it. There's no need to go to any other time frame. Everything you need is right here, crystal clear. Nice little channel forming here. So we can look at, so I'll pull this off just for a second. We look at this and go, okay, 1, 2, looks like an ABC. So what do I have here? I've got overlap of the 1, so I've got a nice leading diagonal. Well, let's be sure. So we'd look for something technical on the 4 in the swing from the start of the 1 through the pivot of the 3, for the proposed 3, right? We don't confirm until we get that 5, but if I get right on that, so start of the 1 through the pivot of the 3. From right on there. So slight front run on the 50. Well, here we got an algo target right here. Is that them? Probably. All right, so remember, algo doesn't care about an Elliott count. Just swing to swing. Where's the 50? Could that be it? Well, you kind of notice here this little cluster here, prior resistance. Is that what does it? Maybe you could really, you kind of got to look left here. Look at all this. So if you include all of that, it's probably too much. That's fairly big. But if you're just getting that 3, that would be where you might anticipate if it were dipping down to. So, or you could do it this way. If you want to be more precise about it, put the pivot right there. Oops. All right, so just clearly that's an important pivot, right? So you can see it came down, was tested here. That could have been part of it. I don't think I'm right on it, right? So maybe it's front run on the 50. So, but what's the point here? We don't have to spending too much time on that. That could have been something that was part of that process here. So we come to the 50, you get a slight front run. Well, here it is. So if that finishes, if we get this right, which we don't know so far, we don't have a new high here. So you can see we got a series of higher lows, higher low, higher low. We don't yet confirm that we have a higher high, but a trip to that algo target would certainly do it. So what does that mean we have here? So likely that's a 1. We'd be looking for the 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so that probably a little much on the degree. Well, yellow work. Let's go down, go to micro. All right, so if that completes here, we got a nice 1 wave, right? Absolutely no need to go anywhere other than the 3-day chart on this. So if we complete up here, so what are we doing? We pull here up to our 5. Now I'm hypothetical. I don't know where that 5 is here, but I'm just sort of demonstrating here. Eventually, either we're going to fail here, and maybe it's a truncated fifth. Then you might dig down into a 4-hour, see what you got there. Right now, no reason to assume anything other than this leading diagonal completes. And then from there, of course, if that completes, we're looking for some sort of an ABC to come into this zone before we go for the 3. So here's the range, right? You don't need to do anything other than just pivot it. Now that could take, well now interestingly, if we got that, well this is where this could come back into play. All right, this whole area, you might want to thicken that up a little bit. So that could certainly come back into play because it was resistance, support, resistance, support. So, you know, and again, we note that we had this over here. So these kind of things, I'd pay attention to those. You know, always look left here. And if you're on a, you know, if you're on a 4-hour, you're going to completely lose track of that, right? But the markets won't, the machines won't. You're going to lose track of it. You're going to go, shit. All right. So let's see here. There's the 3. You're never going to see it. You're going to be looking left, going, oh, let's see. Oh shit, I can't even scrunch up anymore. That's as narrow as I can make it. So you're gonna see all that over there? No, you're not gonna see it. Which is why you need to go to you got to get that bird's eye view. You got to get that long-term look at it. So what do we see here? Well, this, like I said, we went through this relatively technical here. Looks like you may have, so you could do it either with a channel. So a channel makes sense here since we've got the 2 and the 4 pretty well established. Tee up the 3. All right, so that plays rather nicely. We got a nice fat target here. We got an algo target. We got an upper parallel here. Are we there yet? Well, oh, okay. Well, let's go down and look at it. So here, where you might look at that, and think, okay, well, do I have a reason to go down here? Well, the only reason would be to figure out where am I in this. Well, that's a bit of a cluster. Let's see if we can make sense of this here. So I'm on the fly here. So 1, 2, looks like. So what if that's the 1, what are we looking for? We're looking for areas where we don't have potentially overlap here. It looks like that if that's a diagonal, it's not done. So if that's 1, 2, 3, we'll have to measure that. So this here, likely the 1, that's my deepest retracement. So from this pivot, what do we do? All right, here's right to the 50, right where we're looking for it. If I've got this correctly identified, in that, can't say I love that here. We'll have to dig on that a little bit. This could be still going in up here. That's our shorthand target. I like this actually better. So that means I got to get a 5 wave out of that. So I got to go 1, 2. That can't be it because it's got to be a motive wave. So it's got to be 3, 4, 5 here. Let's go green. Let's go down a degree. Hopefully you get what I'm after there. So if this is the 1 if this is the 3rd, this is the 1. Okay, my 4 can't overlap here because now I take that back. Actually, there you go. Forget what count I'm in. So why can that be allowed? Because if this is the 4, right? So let me pull back out here so this makes sense. All right, remember we're in a diagonal. So if this is, if that's 1, 2, okay, so actually, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So actually, we got to look at this in a diagonal context. So if this is ABC, so if this is ABC, right, we're staying in the diagonal, and then we're going to get an ABC coming down. So we're looking for, looks like that's ABC down to my 4. Okay, so ABC. So the 1's a little trickier because it looks like you got to go, phew, boy, that is ugly. ABC. ABC, ABC. It's talk about a choppy market, but what's the trend, right? Series of higher lows, and higher highs. So ABC, so let me revisit this here now with some context. Okay, so given that chop, yeah, let's just rethink this. Okay, so 1, A, B, C, this could be your 1. If that's, because the A is not great, so let's think here. So if that's the 1, yeah, let's measure it. Okay, so if this is one, this could be, it's a little tricky here. So pros and cons of doing it on the fly. So this, I like that because it's technical. So if this, come here. Okay, so we like this. This is potentially, so now if that's going to be a diagonal, boy, that's a tricky one. All right, so now I understand why they wanted to see this. It looks like you'd have to do it this way. So we're looking for an ABC. Well, we want to stay in the diagonal structure here, and we don't have the overlap here. So unless, if the 4 is in, so I'm just dealing with the issue of if the 4 is in and we've already had this move off of this, then we got to go here because we absolutely have to have an overlap. So if this is correctly identified, so that could play. So then you'd have let's take it back, A, B, C into the 1. Then you'd have to have A, B, C into the 2. Okay, so we're on the assumption that the 4 is in. So let's look at that. Does that play? If this is, so we always want to look through 1 through 3. So there's a chance the 4 is not in because it's more common to find it at the 50. So unless there's a possibility we could be doing this, we could be just going A, B, C. Kind of hard to say right now because this is just a kind of a squirrely. So you have to play it this way: A, B as C. All right, on the assumption the 4 is in. Unless we come down, this could be relabeled if we're just going A, B, C, and this is the B, and then we're going to go down again. So this, it's suspect, right? It's suspect. So 1, 2. So it looks like the extension's in the 1, of course. We can just eyeball it here. So if that's the 2, we get a truncated C. So we didn't quite get there. This is not uncommon in a diagonal. So I'm pushing the 1 up here to accommodate for the overlap here. So if this is going to keep going, well, that would still, it doesn't change the target. I'm just changing the subdivision here to accommodate what appears to be a diagonal finishing. So let's go back to, let me go to let's try a 3 hour. Okay, so a little bit unclear up here in that it's a little tricky to confirm that 4 is in. This could easily play. That's where you'd more commonly find it. Now we do have some looking left here, a little structure here that might be in play here. We've got this pivot. So if that's 1, the other possibility 3 is not in yet. And we're still in the process of carving out the 3, so this all could be bigger. So that C could come up here. This could end up being the A. This could be the B, right? So you can't confirm it. You can't confirm it until we get a little more data. What happens here? Is this the B? And we're going down to the 50. So how do we get up here, right? So here's what we need to get to. Well, need is the wrong word. That's a reasonable target based on the subdivision and the anticipation that we're in a diagonal structure, which is tied to the idea that this is overlapped here. If it's going to come down again, you still could play for the 4 here. If this is our pivot here, and we're going to go A, B, C, so that's still there as a potential long off of the 50 going for that, right? That's going to be pretty nice risk reward. So if we look here, a little front run on it, there's your target. Under the 65, there's 4.14 to 1. Not bad. Not bad. And that's on the assumption that all we're doing is putting in the 1 wave, because of course there will be much bigger targets up there, right, when we were looking at it. Change that color. Let's go put that in blue. Okay, so that's what we're trying to get to complete that 1 wave. So let's now clear all of this up, see if there's enough here. It's a little squirrely here. Okay, so let's see, does the whole thing. So now you look at it and like, this is very, very chop, but it's a trending chop. So we go back to the daily. Let's look at that. So here's where we're trying to get. Right, it's unconfirmed as to whether or not any of this is based on where we are. So the 4 looks solid. It's a little shallow, but it looks solid since we've had that good move off of it. So I guess here we can go to the 4 hour. So if this 4 is solid, we're looking to finish this thing as it's a diagonal. We could have, it's hard to say which one is which, right? It's just there's got multiple possibilities here. But this pivot, if this is going to keep going, well, all that's going to do for us is confirm where our pivot is here. So this potentially becomes the 4, although I would keep an eye out for that here. So is there a trade here? I certainly like it better down here. You're kind of late to the party here. If anything, that you had the possibility for it here. So here's what I would do. All right. So if this is, because it's kind of tricky, hard to know whether or not we confirm, this is where I think we confirm that this is the ABC, because then we're at 100% the length of the proposed 1 here. What I'm proposing is the 1. So if that confirms up here, then all that's giving us is the 3. So then you'd set that up and think, okay, if that's 1, 2, 3, and this is an ABC going in up there, right, so we got that piece of it. Well, then 3, 4, we're looking for in a diagonal, just like this diagonal, we're looking for something technical between the pivot of the start of the 1 and the pivot of the 3rd, and look where that lines us up here. So this, I like this even better. Right, so then here, because the upside would be, well, you got 2. Really, you have the target off of this algo. That's 4 to 1, and then you've got the bigger one. That's almost 5 to 1. So you got 2. You got split targets here. So all comes back to the idea that this is the 3, this is the ABC of the 4, and now we're trying to finish this diagonal, looking for that diagonal structure to stay in place. So we're looking for 3s, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, to get us up here towards that target. This is where it's a little unclear, because you got so what makes it unclear is the depth of all of these swings. So how do you define? So here, there are places where it's much more clean, much more clear, where it's easy to spot it. Whereas here, each one of these swings is doing a 50. So it becomes much harder to identify, well, first, what did the algos do, right? Are they just banging 50s in here? We can take a look there, probably. So then you start looking at that and say, okay, what did the algo do last? So we can look here. We looked at this one. So we saw this one here, perfect, got to target, right? So this becomes a pivot we want to consider. So let me clear this up a little as we go through this. Okay, so we had this one. So this one here went to target. So let's just put a little tag on that. Okay, so this goes to target. It looks like that's deep, but remember the algos, what they like is they like that alternating. If the first one, so this one here, front run, maybe, but see what I'm saying is if you went just here to this one, if that fails, and often you'll experience this. So this is actually a good little tutorial here. So if you took this on the assumption that the next swing is going to hold the 65 and then they're going to go off, if that breaks, you immediately go, and you get a new high, then you go to the next pivot. All right, so whether that's the 2 or not, it's not relative to the Elliott count. You're trying to look at what did the algos do? Could they have just used this? Well, that works. So now you get confluence. So here's the ideal scenario. So I get this ABC pattern. This is a pattern that they respond to regularly. Again, all we can do is guesstimate what they did last. Well, that's a problem. Having done this for a long time, I know that they respond to that ABC. So if the first one is too deep and you can take a stop there, then you look for that ABC pattern. So this, it would be something to pay attention to. So, and you can see what they did. So that's likely that's a slight front run on the 50. Here's the target. There's the reaction. Down they go. They get second target. Well, my guess is that likely all this was tied to this. So we look here and you go, okay, in here, right? Golden's, oh shit, look at that. Sorry guys, I find these with you, right? I just know what to look for. So because I hadn't looked at this before it was requested today. So here we go, right? So I find these right with you. Is there any question about what happened there? Right, 0, right? We Jesus Christ, look at that. From the golden zone to the target, look at the response off the target. So now look here. So here's another example of it. So that's perfect. But look what happens on the next one. That looks like, maybe not, but looks like it's too deep. Yeah, it does. So we break here. So what's the thought? Well, you got to go back one. It's the first thing I would do. Okay, what happens next? So now we get this ABC pattern. This is something you have to just comes from experience. You have to look for that. That's one that they respond to. That 50 is very commonly very technical. Right, so first one, too much, and shit. Sorry, guys. You don't know. Something just triggered. You don't know, right? So how are you going to know? So see how it's alternating? This is the bitch of it, right? So here you go. So here, this kind of a size move, that doesn't surprise me here. But these little choppier ones, I mean, we're on an hourly chart here. So this one holds. The next one doesn't. Now you need the alternating, right? This one here breaks, right? Breaks the 65, but the alternating catches it. Right, you see that? So that's not uncommon at all to see them rotating. Again, I can't give you I didn't code it. I can't tell you who's behind it. All I can tell you is that you can spot it when it's in play, and it's always in play on some level. So, but how do you know? You won't know. You don't know. So if you take the stop here, that doesn't mean you abandon the idea. It just means that, oh, I know what happened, and you'll find this, day trading all the time. So the first one breaks, it's the second one that's responsive. First one breaks, it's the second one that's responsive. Now they didn't get all, so what happened here? Is that the front run? Did they run into something else? They ran into the 100 from this one. So then you look at that and you think, well, maybe this is A, B, C. So maybe I've got this wrong, right? So this was very responsive. This was the 2. Maybe this is A. Yeah, so let's see, I'd have to do it differently since this is technical. So that's kind of interesting to note that. So, how do you get a count on that? That's brutal. So best guess is what it comes down to. Best estimate based off of the fib relationships. So here's what you can do. You can look, say, well, that was something, and that was the retracement that corrected it. So where did we go? Well, here's a target. Well, look, again, I find these right along with you. Look at that. Right? Where's the highest probability for a wave 3, right? But that's more commonly found in an impulse. So you look at that and you go, okay, well, if that's the 1, right? So because we're in a diagonal, I'm not thinking impulse. I'm thinking 1, 2, and then I got to get an A, B, C. It's kind of a tricky one, right? Again, I understand why members want to look at this. So is that it? Is it A, B, C? C? Is this the, it's fine, yeah, right? It's constant, right? If anyone gave you the idea this was easy, they gave you bad information, right? It's not easy. It's never, well, never say never. There are times when it's very obvious, right? In here, not so obvious. So either you go, shit if I know. Either you don't trade it, or you go, well, that's so much, well, here's what I would suggest you do. Right, so when you're looking at that going, fuck, man, what the hell? Where's the count? When in doubt, pull out. Words to live by. Right, when in doubt, get out to the larger time frame. Because now I look at that and I go, okay, no confusion. No confusion. What's going on in here? I know I've got some sort of a diagonal going in. Now I'm trying to dig through on the 60-minute. That's just a good example, right? All that uncertainty of like what the hell is going on in here? All that uncertainty clears up. What am I doing here? I'm in a diagonal. Where's my target? Well, I can use the algo target. That's reasonable. I can use the length of the 1. Also commonly in a diagonal will be 1 through 3. You look for the 618. Or the 100, right? So if that's correctly identified. So here's a potential target. Now, do we have any confluence from the start of it? Yeah, it's not perfect. Right, so this here, that would be, that would be a good kick here for the 5th relative to what we've seen so far. This looks more likely. The symmetry looks good here. So you got a little range, a little hot box for your 5 here that would complete this, potentially completes this 1. So good, just great example, right? That hyper sensitivity, the constant, the G20, Trump tweets one thing and Trudeau says another thing. Then again, you go down here and you're like, what the? Then you pull back here and you go, okay, clarity. Clarity, right? That's the point. I dwelled on that in the earlier video. long term. Get out of that noise. That noise, you'll end up getting eaten alive in there. I've been that guy going, what the hell? Wait, oh, I know what it is. You think you know what it is, right? And it wasn't until someone grabbed me and said, hey, Sam, why don't you look at the daily instead of looking at the 15-minute all day? Why don't you step back a little bit and see where you are? I think you'll find that things will clear up. Well, all I'm trying to do is do the same thing for you guys that guy did for me. And that was a lot of years ago. You know, I'm in there. I was on the 5-minute in Forex going, I think I see the wave too. I think I got it. Shit, you're redrawing that 400 times a day. Step back here, you redraw it once a month. Right? You don't have to babysit it. Look at that trade. It's as textbook as it could be. Pattern, price, the 50, got an algo behind me. You know, that took 3 days to form that. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Oh, I didn't get the turn. Well, yeah, how about the 2? Oh man, you're bitching because oh man, I missed the turn. It happened while I was asleep. It rocked off. There's always a retracement. Always. Right? A long wait for it here. You're waiting for the retracement. Always comes. Right? There is no market that has never gone through a retracement. They always come. Right? Just don't ever think like, oh man, that thing's never going to retrace. Think about Bitcoin. All right, guys, that's 26 minutes. Enough rambling from me. Just the best advice I can give you in Forex. 4 hour and above. All right, guys, that's a wrap. See you later.